This is the Rosa Frenchman's Skyy. Right.
When did you start the idea of having your own babies and wanting to start from the ground up?
Whatever inspired me to get into the breeding side of it in the first place is the guy where we bought all the mares for, the guy that we pretty much bought the flagship mares in my program from, which is her. She's Rosa Frenchman's Skyy, so that's French vanilla Skyy, and then Golden Cloud, which was Rosa's Cantina Dash to Fame. And you look at his breeding program, and he's has generational success. He didn't just breed to the hot stud here or there. He's had success for years and years, and he's had success in all events. Like, he had 3 horses this year at the finals, and I don't know if I mean, I'm sure there are other breeders that have done it, but he's had such a small program. It was based off of mares, and they literally carry more maternal DNA, like weight wise, and so just being able to like know that on a mitochondrial level and like based on everything I did in school, a lot of it came from what I was doing in school, because it was a way for me to combine both worlds, because I got a kind of a crappy grade in my meats class, but I was best grade in my reproduction class, which is the one that the vet students were in. So it's like, if you can make school fun and actually be making it worth your while, like for me to go to A&M and get the rodeo scholarship, it just combined everything. So
your undergrad and kind of how you're founded in science. You like the research and the science.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, because that's not a foundation that a lot of people have. Who was the first mare that you started with in the program? Is that the one you just mentioned?
It was Golden Cloud, yeah. So
it was Golden Cloud, okay.
Dash to Fame Rosa's Cantina, and she has 3 generations of NFR mares. She's absolutely amazing. I've run out over 150,000 on her, and that's just at like college rodeos and little stuff. I haven't even gotten to actually take her down the road yet. And I have such respect for the girls that have let their horses go work and do their job, and then they want to breed later in life, but they are shedding oocytes all the time. And if you do want to have that, like, I don't want to do both at the same time. When we're pregnant, we're not asked to go do crazy things, and when we're on our periods, we feel like crap. Like, I can't think they feel much different. And so to push all these things through them that we do, like, I've kind of wanted to step back from it and do what I want to in the breeding side, because what happens if it's 3 a.m. on the side of the road and she happens to colic and I can't get her to a facility? Like, and then I've lost out on that whole side of everything. Like, because the whole point is to outbreed what I have currently. It's to make even better horses, and that's kind of why I've chosen to breed her now, and this will be our last breeding season, and then we're going back to it. So
that's so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Golden Cloud from the sidelines. So how has she been since her recovery and everything? How is that going?
Right. Really, really good. Huge blessing over all of that. God had his hand in all of it. I honestly don't think Golden would be in the position she was in had I not lost my other mare. It's like sad to say that, but when we put that mare down at 3 a.m, we didn't even know EHV was a thing at the time. And I walked outside and I just happened to know, I mean, I'm with these guys every day. Like, I put my desk in the barn just so I can sit here and be with them, you know, like, and I noticed her toes dragging, and had I not like lost that other mare and known what was coming, like, I wouldn't have got her to the vet that fast. And all the stalls filled up every single place. I hauled her 8 hours to Louisiana. Like, thank goodness all that happened. Like, not thank goodness it happened, but thank goodness she's okay now because of the new going into it. But she's doing phenomenal. I actually ran her at the Rodeo Austin Qualifier. She was 59 at 377, which is pretty decently fast. Not crazy fast, but just cruised her through. That's the only run I've made on her since all of it. And it wasn't like, she's not in her full shape or anything like that. So she's doing awesome.
How has that been, like, recovery wise? Has that just been like working with your vet and kind of deciding what that looks like as far as like getting her back into training and recovery and all of that?
Kind of. At this point, there's not really much my vets can do. I understand about like neural pathways. Like, what happened when a horse gets EHV is they literally have mini strokes all the way down their spinal cord. And whenever we did the necropsy on the mare that died, she had strokes all the way down from all in her brain, all the way down her spinal cord. So you got to think, like, they're literally losing neural capability, and so they're having to rebuild neural pathways. And horses can see anywhere between like a blue and green color scheme and like whites and yellows. They can't see like reds like we can. And so I have actually ground poles. Like, I started out riding English horses, and so working horses over ground poles has always been a thing for me that I've done forever. And I actually,
which is amazing for them, and something like us, like Western wise, we don't really do.
no, and there's so many good things you can get out of it. You can get them to extend their stride. I actually painted some ground poles with her, and I've been getting her to like side pass over them. So I painted them. The ground is green, right? Grass is green. So I have the ground, my grass outside, and I put my ground poles down in there. I have them painted white and yellow so she can really see them. And kind
You're
of
amazing. Like,
for them.
you think of all the little things.
Well, it's all that matters. Like, I mean, if you want to rebuild neural pathways and you want to go ask them to run at their top speed and get them to do these things, they're not used to going in a trailer or any of that. So, I mean, they were used to it, but they're not made for it, you know, like they're made to have their heads down. That's why you got to get them off every 4 hours and let their heads down so they don't get a cough and all this crap. So it's just like, I've tried to do everything I can for her. She will use herself to her full capability. And so when I send her in there and actually go to ask her to run in the future, I better damn sure have her in shape, because otherwise she'll get hurt. And I better make sure I've crossed all the things. So that's the process we're trying to do now. But for my vet, we did her on valcyclovir. We did a round of that, which is pretty standard. It decreases the shedding of the virus, which in essence would decrease the viral load. And so that's kind of what we did on the vet side of it. And then we kept her on vitamin E. And you guys sent me a bunch of stuff that I had kept her on as well. So
hats off to you, just because I can't imagine, you know, like managing all of that. And we're so sad about Eleanor, and our deepest condolences to you. But, you know, the necropsy, and that gives so much insight to you, your veterinarians, other people that are dealing with it, to know what's actually happening. So hats off to you.
Everybody. Like, thank goodness. Yeah. Honestly, like, it sucks that I had to go through that, and I just made the NFR open on her and just done all these things, and I felt like I just gotten my foot in the door and like was right there to like really start accomplishing these goals I've been headed at for so long. But I feel like God made me be the person to like have to lose her, because if it like other people wouldn't have known that you needed to pull blood before you put her down, and they wouldn't have known all these things that like I had to send these live samples, and like for her to be the horse, like it sucks, but also like I will pay for the necropsy. I will get it done so that this never happens again for the whole state. Like, people have no idea. We separated every single horse here on this property. We built outdoor pens. We did all this stuff. My boyfriend flew in. He power washed my barn until 5 a.m. Like, it just was like, yeah, no, crazy. It sucks, but I hope that it can help people in the future. Like, and I really do, because I don't know.
Like you said, I think there's very few people that would be diligent enough to like not separate, because you can't really separate the emotion from it, but be diligent when you're in that like emotional state to be like, okay, I'm going to check the boxes and do XYZ.
Right. No, it sucked. This ain't to say it didn't suck, because it did. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, you're either going to sink or swim, kind of. Like,
well, we're amazed by you, and we're amazed by Golden Cloud, and we're very excited. So that's awesome to hear that she's, you know, on the road. It sounds like she's actually having an amazing recovery. So that's really exciting.
Recovery. No, you're right. You're right.
So, babies on the ground. What do you have on the ground right now?
So babies on the ground, I have 5 on the ground currently out of her. I did 3 of those within like a 2-month span down at A&M.
Okay.
Super efficient. Like, rarely can you get stuff done that efficiently. We had 2 born 14 days apart. They were flushes back to back, and then 1 EC embryo. And so the first one born was an epic leader filly named Reba. That's her registered banner barn name. I don't like doing the 20,000 names. I want one name. And so we have Reba, she's an epic leader, Golden Cloud, and then we have a winner's version. High Point had given me some semen for winner's version in the NFR giveaway, so that was a huge blessing. Got that filly born. She's on the ground. She stands 15.3 at the hip. She's going to be a giraffe. And then we have a Blazing Gentilina stud colt, and that was actually the year that he died. So that was cool that we ended up getting it done that year. And he was the embryo. So he was the only ICSI embryos. The only time I've ever aspirated golden was for that cross. So those were 3. And then what do I have after that? Then we have a Trace Sace filly, and who else am I forgetting? And then and then she also has another Trace Sace filly that was before I bought her. She was flushed as a 2-year-old from Alan Woodbury. And then I'm breeding to the Good Fight late this year. So.
Oh, wow. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah.
I'm like, how are you managing all this?
Because I'm insane. No, it's insane. I have to be here during breeding season. I've drawn out I actually doctored out of some rodeos coming up because I have to run mares back and forth to the breeding barn, and you never know what day.
That's what I was going to ask. Are you there day to day, really?
Yeah, I bring them for their flushes. I do all of it. I flew in the other day at like 6 in the. I got to DFW like 7 p.m. Got home at like 8, and then had to be up at 3. Had to be at the breeding farm at 3 for the flushes. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
With the breeding season, do you change anything nutritional wise, or do you just kind of keep everything solid throughout the year?
No, I damn sure do. Embryos are anywhere from, normally they're about 25% lipid. So increasing fat is huge on these horses, just the same as like an Olympic runner, like usually can't have babies and can't get pregnant. Same way for these horses. So a lot of girls like get confused when they can't breed them on the road, and it's like their bodies don't have anything more to give. And so I increase fat a ton. All omega-3s. Omega-3s are a way better fat than omega-6s. So I increase that a bunch. And I increase that probably about 3 months out. When you start putting them under lights in November, you better start increasing that fat. And so whatever you do to increase that fat, that's kind of the biggest thing. And that helps with the embryos. In terms of everything else, it pretty much stays the same.
That's really cool that you're mentioning that. I was just talking with Dr. Rob Franklin the other day, and he was talking about, the body condition that some people bring mares in and just expect them, to conceive. And it's wild to think that they can be at such a low state in their body condition, and you think they're going to be able to receive and carry and be healthy and, come out on the other side.
It's a whole nother job. I mean, they have their one job with the competing and all that, but it's a whole nother job when you go to ask them to make babies out of them. That's a huge biological function. Like
make babies, lactate, come out the other side healthy. It's insane.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. No, so I dang sure do change nutrition. Nutrition's all of it. I mean, nutrition's all of it for me. Training with what I'm trying to do, like outside of the arena with my fitness, and then for them, it's everything. It is everything.
Have you always been, for yourself, focused on nutrition and health, and then that's correlated into your horses, or that was like a recent uptick and you've been more focused?
No, I've always been. I ran track whenever I was in high school and stuff like that. I'd actually gotten offers to go run track in college. I had done really well in the hurdles in high school, and so that was I've always been an athlete, and so goat tying was my best event. Shocker, no shocker there.
Not mine.
All athletics. But no, I'm totally focused. If you don't have your health, you literally have nothing. Like, think about when you get sick,
true.
You're in the hospital, you have that's it. Your whole life stops. Everything else stops in your life. So yeah, whatever I can do to take care of myself and them.
I feel like a lot of times we don't think about the health side until it's too late.
Totally, getting ahead of it's huge. It's getting ahead of it's everything.
And same for our horses. Like, it's like all about being proactive instead of reactive. So talking about your schedule and everything, you're in spring right now, we're getting ready to go into, heavier rodeo season. What do your plans look like?
Right. So this year, I actually, honestly, this is kind of my first time publicly saying it. I'm currently doctored out of the WPRA, doctored out of San Angelo, and some of that stuff coming up. I have been scrambling for so long. My life is just as crazy as it seems, and I want to be on ground zero with everything. I need my place to be functioning fully and my systems to be in place for when I leave. Like, life doesn't stop, because currently when I leave home, nothing is happening. I have someone coming in, feeding and cleaning and doing those kinds of things, but it needs to be in a better spot, and I need to build those people to where, when I leave, things are consistent,
progressing,
and progressing. Even consistent would be fine.
Yeah.
Even if we were maintaining, it would be fine. But no, I plan on trying to stay home. I made the NFR open for this summer. If I were to stay home and circuit rodeo and be in the top of my circuit, I'd be in the exact same position next year. If I could be in the top of my circuit and win my circuit again, that would put me at the NFR open again for 2027. And so if I could kind of be in that position and make sure that my breeding program, I want to increase numbers. I think that's not something I've ever focused on in the past. I'd always focused on quality over quantity, but at the same time, I want to breed horses for other people to win on. Alan, the guy who I bought these horses from, has so much joy watching people win on these horses. And I quite literally, if I'm only going to breed one out of her, I'm probably going to keep it. So I want to have like 2 or 3 on the ground and be able to put them in a sale or sell them privately or whatever that looks like. And I can't do that unless I kind of increase those numbers. So this year is about building and getting systems in place kind of so that I can do it all next year. I want to be able to be rodeoing full-time. Golden Cloud will be back. We might pursue the avenue of trying to find another barrel horse. And so that's kind of, I want to be going down the road in both events. It's hard for me to just show up and only rope whenever, I've got barrel horses sitting at home. So
That's so true. It's exciting though. Like you said, I feel like a lot of people don't take the time to step back and put the systems in place. So that is really exciting though. Very
April.
very
April
smart.
Into October. Like it's not even that far. Like and then you want to hit the new year and potentially be in the top of the standings to get into Houston and stuff like that. Totally doable. Girls do it all the time. Like and if you are winning at your circuit rodeos and you're going to be winning at those. Like I understand barrels and all that kind of stuff can be a little different, like based on who you're competing against. But I mean, if you're at the top of it here in Texas, you're going to be close to the top everywhere.
I know you mentioned, with the babies on the ground and then you'll be training and stuff. You mentioned that you will do, the roping side. You'll probably send off for barrels. Right. Why is that? Is that just you enjoy it more or what? How do you feel about that?
There's so much that goes into creating a great barrel horse. There is a lot that goes into creating a good rope horse too, but this event is a different breed. Like this is a different level of, you have to allow them to have some level of cockiness because you want them to go in there and have the confidence to run into those barrels, like and freaking turn when the ground sucks. Like, and so I think I can only handle so much, and if I'm going to handle my whole breeding program and all of that, like I want to do the rope horse thing. I've roped longer than I've run barrels, quite frankly, and so I think I probably know more about it. I'm going to train one of the golden babies at some point. I might keep the epic leader for my.
That will be so cool.
Well, I broke her and started her, and I was like, if I could break her, I'm not even a colt starter. Like, and she let me climb on her back, so surely I could figure something out. So, yeah.
One of the girls here, she has an amazing barrel horse, and it was funny. She was just leading it around the other day, and it's kind of skittish, kind of has a little bit of an attitude.
Right.
And she was like, you want that. She was like, you don't want them to just be like dead to the world. Like you want them to be a little skittish, a little freakish. She's like, they have to be like that.
No, they kind of do. I mean, if you want them, think about how you treat a racehorse. Like that's where our industry is headed towards. Like really and truly, like that's probably where it's headed. And with all the treatments and all the things that we do for them, that's where we're headed. And they're treated like racehorses. You tell them go fast. Like that's kind of the only speed they know. I'm not saying that we need them to walk in the alleyway and do all those things, but you need them to run. They don't have to sit dead in the corner like a rope horse.
Yeah, she said you want them reactive, and I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So with you, you're always competing in barrels and you're roping. What is the same mental wise? Like you're telling yourself before each run, what stays the same?
It's all the same. Competition is all the same. Even if it's not on a horse, I think it's all the same. I think competition at any level, I think every single calf roper's probably read that book, Mind Gym, okay? And it's a tennis book. And that's like the claim to fame book if you've read Mind Gym or whatever. And competition's all the same, and I think it's just all the same steps every single time. I definitely don't have it mastered yet. I want to. I have every intention to do so. But it's all the same. It can't be different when you show up. It needs to be the same as what you do every single day.
That's true. I think you're close to mastering because you seem pretty.
Close, but so far.
You seem pretty systematic and like you have things in order. So I have.
Sometimes I'm like, maybe I just need to forget about all of it. Like just like change it all.
I know that. That's what's so funny is you hear some people that are like, I don't think about anything before I run. I don't, and then you hear people that are so dialed in, and I'm like, it's whatever works for you.
No, you're so right. It is whatever works for you. You're right.
Kind of talking about like routine, nutrition, everything together with your science background. And, I just listened to another podcast where you said, I don't really do supplements. Like, I'm not a big supplement person. And then, I came on board with 4-6s. What about 4-6s, equine supplements, made you actually, want to try the product and, trust it?
Right. So you guys had reached out to me, and I've had other supplement companies reach out in the past, and they want you to just hop on board and sign up and post their stuff. And I told Whitley, I said, I'm not going to do this unless I get the supplements. Like, send them to me for a month or two, and if I like them, I'll get on board. Because half the time, they don't even eat them. Like they end up at the bottom of their dish and they're all sifted through. And I don't know how they do it. You can put oil, water, and they'll still sift it through to the bottom, or they'll just throw it all away and then you've lost all the grain. And they eat the stuff. They freaking eat it. And I think the main thing that I love about it is the one that I love is the probiotics. Like that's huge. Like keeping their gut and their digestion right is awesome, and they love it. And honest to goodness, the main reason I love it is because they freaking eat it. Like there's so many supplements that they do not eat, and they eat this stuff. They eat all of it, and it's all alfalfa based, and I think it probably tastes good to them. So that's honestly the main reason I got on board with you guys, is that I know that they're actually eating it, because you pay for so many things that they don't even eat.
Yeah, that's so true. They literally sit at the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah.
And the gut stuff is really cool to me right now. I feel like in the human world, we've always been like leaky gut. We've always been so concerned about it. And now finally in the horse world, people are like, oh, like your gut affects everything, like the joints, it affects behavior. It is so cool to see the shifts and like see the research behind it for me, because I like to actually see the proof behind it. And so to me, to get to dive into like the research side of it, that is so cool to see that people are now taking in the gut connection to like how it affects the joints, their performance, all of that. So
well, in the joint supplement, the glucosamine chondroitin, I actually have a mare that I haven't. I have a mare that I took shoes off of that was pretty much done, and I've been feeding her the joint stuff ever since I started with y'all. So she's probably been on it about 6 months now, and she's sound. I haven't gotten back on her or anything like that, but she is freaking sound. And I mean, glucosamine and chondroitin is we've been giving that to people for ages. Like, and now that's finally reaching the horse world, and so it's awesome. It's
that's another fun one that we've been digging into is the joint building blocks, and then actually giving them, it's Boswellia and Cetyl M that they added that like actually targets the inflammation, and then the postbiotic to actually address the gut. So it's all together in one. But yeah, it's pretty exciting that people are now taking that research with their horses.
Her walking, hi Skyy. Her walking then versus now, like she literally is walking sound. So
which horse is it?
Peppa, she was my rope horse that I'd made like the CNFR on and stuff like that in college. She was a little red roan, little D brand horse from Florida. So that's like the old timey Buck Daniels ranch that you see a lot of girls riding. So if you ever see a D on the right side of their tail.
So that brings me to another point with the transition going from Florida to Texas.
Yeah.
Because it's just you, right? In Texas,
yes,
or
me.
Just
me
okay.
And these guys. Let me start her.
Okay.
One more time. Gotta keep going. Sorry, lady.
How many years when did you move to Texas, and how long have you been there?
So I moved to Texas in 2019 when I started going to school here. I went to A&M, graduated there in 2023, and then I moved up here to the Weatherford area. I live like just north of Weatherford. Just me here. It's me and my dog and 11 horses.
And so you're building a lot of character by being on your own in Texas.
I just descaled my water heater the other day off of ChatGPT because the plumber flooded my garage. So it's been a lot of character building. Not character building I thought I ever wanted, but maybe I needed.
Is it a big transition, like if you're hauling back and forth, similar to being on the road, during the summer? What do you have to do to keep them solid on the road?
Well, my horses, they don't leave unless they're going to rodeos. They are Texas residents officially. No, when I'm on the road with them, though, they do get ulcer guards, so I'll keep them on that. I usually keep them on it about a day before, and I'll keep them on Previcox. So those are just the staple 2 items for me. But then I've kept them. Every single one of them's been on the probiotic from the 4-6s, and every single one of them's been on the joint.
Is there any piece of advice you would look back at, like freshman Britta hauling the college rodeos, something that you did hauling that you're like, why did I do that with my horses? Something that I've changed, like a piece of advice to give.
Oh, geez. I've been relatively good.
I say maybe you've just been solid, like your whole...
I've been relatively good, but I do haul with water in front of them now. I think that's something I didn't used to do, because you don't know if they're drinking or not, and quite frankly, a lot of it probably does splash out. But if they have the option to even get a little bit, I think that's better than nothing. And I'll put just the little buckets, that way they're not like smashing them in the face or anything, and I tie them down with like hay string to the side. But I do haul with water in front of them nowadays, and I didn't used to do that. They probably hate it.
I love that.
I do get them off the trailer a lot, though, probably way more so. I think it annoys my hauling partners if I ever go with somebody, because they get off the trailer every 4 hours. Like, I am pretty diligent about that, and I want their head to hit the ground, and I want them to eat something on the ground, whether it's hay that you put on the concrete or something, if you don't want them to eat the grass at the gas station, like, because they have to drain all of that mucus and stuff that they don't get the opportunity to in the trailer. So
that's amazing.
John.
With your routine, because you're very particular, when you're hauling, do you see them, they're drinking, they're eating, so they haul pretty well with all of that?
Oh, they haul awesome. I haven't had one that's ever an issue. And quite frankly, I think even like having them on the treadmill, like I don't have issues with babies getting on the ramps. Like I know people have issues like getting their horses on the ramps because I have a side reverse load, so it can be kind of scary for them to like get in there. But they're used to the routine. Like they don't get scared at the truck stops anymore. I hook waters up to the side. I'll let them sit there and only focus on the water for like 10 minutes, and then I'll put they'll hay a little bit of hay on the ground or something, try and get them to clear their, because they'll blow. Like you'll sit there and you'll watch them and they'll and like blow their nose and all the things. So
We just need a rodeo like guidebook from you.
I
This
don't
is
think
what I
anyone would
do.
follow it.
It would be a good read though.
Yeah, it'd be a good read.
What does it look like day to day? How many horses are you having to actually ride? Like
Yeah.
what does a day to day look like on your place?
Day to day looks like I only have 2 in the breakaway right now. I got rid of. I've been selling a bunch. I've been selling anything that's not like exactly what I want or that I'm breeding, because I'm now in a super blessed position that I'm about to have everything I've ever wanted, like in terms of what I'm bringing up, and those are the horses I want to ride, and I kind of want to like make room for them. And versus selling something that's 8 years old versus 10 years old, there's a market for that. So like being able to get rid of them not get rid of them, but place them where they need to be sooner rather than later when you're like kind of screwed on the back end. I've been trying to like kind of minimize everything I'm taking care of. Like I want to just be dealing with the babies and stuff like that. A lot of it looks like tying the babies out, saddling them. I start saddling them as yearlings. Which I don't get on them or do anything like that, but I do put them a saddle on them and stuff, and I'll leave them tied in the barn for a couple hours while I'm working around the place. And then I ride anywhere. I probably ride about 5 a day usually. Like I'll ride. I already rode 3 this morning, and I have 2 more to ride. So the riding part's not as intensive, but dealing with them and just like getting them used to stuff. Like usually when so here's an example. If I ever get home with a trailer, every single baby gets loaded in it, and we drive a lap around the barn. And I've had
That's amazing.
Well, but it saves your butt because you need to load it to go somewhere. They hop right in. And so like my stud colt was difficult about that for the longest time, but he's finally, after many trips around the barn, and it's not even a big barn, we just drive a lap, like he's been pretty good. So yeah.
That's another one of those things that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't take the time to do, and I'm like, that's a patience and like putting in the work thing, but it saves you so much on the end of it.
Oh, it saves you so much. And a lot of it's been like I've been trying to get him I recognize that I'm small potatoes by comparison to like the people that have come before me. And so like a big thing for me has been having like, I want to have the best colts that my colt starter gets. Like I want to tell him they've never had a saddle on him, and I've already ridden him out in the pasture. Like that's how I sent him. When I sent her, I had already gotten on her. I'd saddled her. I'd ridden her outside and stuff. And he was riding her outside the second day. He's like, she's amazing. I'm like, she's amazing. Shocker.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So, that's a lot of it. And that's just patience. And it takes way more time than you think. Like, you're like, oh, you're just saddling a yearling. But it's like everything has to be slow. And then, like, crap will hit the fan. And then, yeah. So it's pretty time intensive. So many hands that end up creating a good horse. That's something I've come to appreciate now, too. Because, like, there's a guy that started her, but then I've had her, and then another guy had her, and then like she'll go to Lee and Hallie to get trained. Like so many hands create a good horse. Like it's not just 1 or 2 people. It's not just the colt starter and the trainer. It's the vets that took the time to wait whenever they were loading in the stocks for her breeding earlier, so that she's not scared of stocks every single time she walks up to a vet clinic. Like it's all the people. So
that actually leads me. Okay, I have one more. I've asked you a million questions, but things keep popping into my head.
Oh, it's good.
So I know you didn't come from a rodeo family.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like it's hard. Some people have a lot of, when they're getting into rodeo, they're like, where do I start? How do I start? Right. Especially people, like you said, with babies, like trying to find the right people to like send your young horse to, or just the right people to ask advice to. What piece of advice would you give someone coming from the outside world into rodeo, like connecting with the right people, or like knowing who to ask advice from, because you know how easy it is to fall into the wrong trap.
Right. I think it's just as easy to fall into the right crowd actually as well. I think that ask everybody questions. Everyone wants to talk about themselves. Me sitting here on this interview, I love to talk about myself, right? Ask everybody questions. Like Even if you know the answer, you think you know the answer, ask them. They may have a totally different way of going about it than you ever thought, and quite frankly, they'll be willing to teach you more if you're coming at it from a perspective of like, hey, I don't know this, can you show me how you did it? And like that's how I've gotten to do lessons with certain people and all these different things. Like I ask, I'm the most annoying person at my vet clinic, but I know a lot because of it. So I mean, just ask, and you'll be able to sift through all of it too. You'll find the people that actually want to cheer you on and don't just want something from you. So
That's great advice, because a lot of people are too scared to ask. So
yeah, and if they don't want to answer, that's okay.
yeah, you can ask someone else, right?
Yeah.
I have some fun, just little kind of this or that for you. What's favorite rodeo you've been to?
Favorite rodeo I've been to, hands down, was Sisters, Oregon last year with the Christmas trees in the arena. I won second there in the breakaways. It was super special, and I got to run around the arena for the victory lap for the perf, and it was super cool. And just driving.
That's like a bucket list one.
Oh, bucket list, and that's about as far as you could get from where I'm from. I mean, I'm from South Florida to Sisters, Oregon. Like you couldn't get much farther. So.
No, that's a good one.
It was good.
I know with your, being our fit star and healthy, you're not a gas station snacker. So what's your like go-to meal prep if you're going somewhere or like going to be on the road?
Go-to meal prep in the morning for breakfast. I'm a big breakfast person. Like if I miss my coffee and I miss my breakfast, like the day's screwed.
Me too.
So my biggest breakfast thing, I have an air fryer in my trailer, and I'll do a sweet potato with an avocado with cheese on it, and then I crack an egg on top, and you pop it in there for like 10 minutes. Like it's wonderful, and you get
way better than a gas station snack.
Way better, and I try to tell people this is literally cheaper. Like when you go buy just like raw groceries at the store, like way cheaper. Now if you're not into that stuff, you might have to get yourself over the hump of like, yay, this tastes good, but maybe it doesn't. But I mean, that's how I've always eaten. So yeah.
The next one is, what is a funny quirk one of the horses has?
A funny quirk one of the horses has. She's doing it right now. I've never seen a horse that she does this nose thing, and she runs around with her nose in the sky, and then whenever she doesn't like something, it's a nose thing, and I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she's blind and can't see because she's a Carmelo, but she's always doing this thing with her nose and holding it up, and I don't know what it is. But that's a funny. She did it again.
She is doing it now that I'm watching her.
She does it all the time. She does it in her stall. She does it all the time. She just does this, and I don't know what she's doing. Yeah.
If only they could talk.
See, she does it all the time. Yeah.
Okay, and my last one is your dream cross, which I think you may already have that. Is there? Okay.
I think my dream cross would be the horse that is the flagship of my program, which is the Rosa Dash to Fame. She's the only one that is currently living. She does have a full sibling Jaguar owned by Mill Iron Livestock, so he's able to be bred to now ever since the 2-year rule got changed, which is awesome. But she's probably in it, so huge big deal that got changed. Other than that, it would probably be the Trace Stace filly I have out of her in the barn. She is so easygoing. She's cool with everything. I've never had a Trace Stace, so she's pretty awesome.
I'm very excited now that you've said what's in your barn. I'm very excited for like the next few years to see how.
I can't wait. I want to breed horses for other people to win on. Like that's how you know you've built something. Like when you can get to the place where like you're winning on them and other people are winning on them, and they're user friendly enough, but they're also fast enough to like handle this level of competition that we have nowadays. Like that is when I feel like I'll have feel as though I've really accomplished something on the breeding side of it. Like I
said the satisfaction from that I feel like would be next level.
Oh, it would be amazing. And I want to go prove them in the arena, and it's such a blessing that I get to literally real-time test this at the highest level there is in rodeo, and then go back and refine it, because confirmation equals soundness, and I don't want to just breed to the hottest stud. If she's short, it would only be a disadvantage to her and her offspring if I breed her to another short stud with long old cannon bones. There's so many things that I want to breed for, and then I want to be able to test, but then I want other people to also get to have a part of this and maybe start their own operation off of it, because that's what I'm doing from Alan. Maybe someone can do it from something I breed. So
that's so exciting, Britta.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we're so excited to watch you this year. We're so excited to watch the babies and see all that they accomplish. And now hearing what's in the barn, I'm even more excited. So we're so excited to have you as a part of the team. And we can't wait to see what this year has for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.